Federal stimulus package. Touch on this just for a little bit. I recently turned down or vetoed stimulus dollars that were tied to implementing these stimulus dollars were tied to some mandates from the federal government trying to take away more control of our local governments, our families, and our businesses. In this case, implementing universal energy building codes that some claimed after I vetoed the money, oh, she's just trying to make a political statement. And no, I'm actually trying to use some common sense here. And some may be uncomfortable with that, but it is the right thing to do. You know the response I got when I vetoed these dollars? Girl, are you crazy? The federal government is handing out free money, and if you don't take it, another state's gonna spend it. All this borrowed, debt-ridden, government-growing money. It is not free money, and taking it takes away anything that is free. So many in Congress warned the states about the ramifications of accepting the money, and most legislatures went around governors who didn't want to take all the money, and they resolved via resolutions to take the money anyway. But opportunity for development and local control, that is what's taken away when all of these dollars are accepted without questioning them, because believe it or not, there are fat strings attached to this borrowed money. See, that attitude of free money is wrong. Finally, I have just conceded. I've said, okay, I just won't claim that there are no more strings attached. I won't use that term anymore, because the more we dig into these mandates, these connections that the money would have, that we would spend coming from the federal government, including the string attached to these dizzying federal debts that we're handing to our kids and to their kids to pay off for us, well, I can't say strings attached anymore. Now I say they are ropes. They are debt-building, binding, controlling ropes, and it is bigger government that ultimately will take away our opportunities and our freedoms. And now precedent says government will bail you out, depending on the decisions that you've made. If you're not prudent with your business dollars, government will buy you out. Anyone need a car? And this is a problem, because we cannot afford this government largesse and control and unrestrained spending. I don't think that that is what Seward had in mind, and I do not believe that is the will of the people. Now, the strings attached to the stimulus dollars really just the tip of the iceberg, attached to the newest federal education standards, before the latest ones have even been fully measured. It means more centralized government and less local ownership. And now, you and I, we own GM. Well, the U.S. government owns the great stake in it, but who are we becoming more and more indebted to? It's China. So at this rate, you have to ask yourself, who may really own the car industry ultimately? And universal health care, more government control of medicine and its availability and our choices in providers. Again, I don't know if that's what Seward had in mind. And then we heard just a few days ago, someone says that the White House may want federal control over Alaska's proposed natural gas pipeline. Can you imagine turning over a free market project to big government controlled by Washington? That's not a good option. And Washington now admits that, well, it looks like the only solution to all of this spending and the control is to take more of your money, which takes away more of our opportunities and our freedoms, and more of our control from our villages and our cities and our businesses and our families. See, now there's talk now of a new value-added tax, or VAT. It's a fancy name for a national sales tax. Now to me, there's nothing value-added in any tax unless another tax is simultaneously reduced. So here's the caution, but here's also the hope. We have to hang on to the hope. Some days it may feel as though we're almost selling our collective soul to other countries who are so heavily invested in our future now that we stand to be mere puppets on their string, or Maybe those are ropes too. And it's just so tough to just stand by and hear, don't worry, just Washington knows best.